Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our very first podcast, and it's called Bitches Who Need Advice. We're bitches who need advice, but today, we're here to give you advice because we're experts in life, as you can tell by our backgrounds. They're very professional, therefore, we mean our shit. Anyway, I'm Agnia Arientos. I identify as a woman, as a cisgender, and I am also a brown Latina. Yeah, even though on my driver's license it says white because we don't have another option for us. I identify as a brown Latina. Moving on, we have Chanel.
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Charlotte Thurman. I'm as well as a cisgender woman. I'm 26. I'm a Black American. And a little bit about myself. I got a BA in communications. I got my master's in human relations. Did various jobs. Right now I'm unemployed. But on our downtime, we decided we wanted to do this podcast because we talk about political stuff all the time. So we're like, we might as well talk about it with other folks as well. So, Sadi.
My name is Sarai. I also identify as a woman, a cis woman. I am 27 years old. I got my degree at ASU. It's a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. I identify as Hispanic. My father is from Mexico, but my mother is Caucasian American. As for what I like to do for fun, I am a mom of an 8-year-old, so she kind of consumes all my time. So that's pretty much it.
So what do you do for fun? You're a mom for fun?
That's my fun time, yeah.
I forgot to say what I do for fun. Well, pre-COVID, I used to travel a lot, so now I travel from couch to couch. Each country, I label every, Italy. Next, this is Austria. That's my traveling. But no, other than that, I like to hang out with my friends and family and watch Netflix.
Yeah. For fun, I didn't say what I like to. I'm really into relationships, so I like to watch a lot of TED Talks and read a lot of books about relationships and love. That's my big thing. I also I'm a single person who loves to give relationship advice. That's also my forte. And I just graduated with a master's in psychology from ASU, Arizona State University.
And you're doing big things.
Yeah, and the three of us, this is super exciting, you guys. The three of us are unemployed. We're in between jobs.
You guys, remember, go to school and not do nothing. That's what you're going to do with your degree.
Okay, so we're here.
You're going to go places.
Yeah. So today we're here to talk about something that we've been seeing in our social media and something that we've also been, I personally think that I've been guilty of. And it's something called performative activism. It's something that we saw happen when the Black Lives Matter movement started, get more clout and get more attention. We saw that there were more people that were speaking about it but not really getting involved. Chanel, do you want to add a little bit more about what performative activism is?
Yeah, so basically performative activism is basically when you use kind of like the infographics that we're seeing on Instagram. You use that as your personal and capital gain rather than genuinely caring about a movement. And some examples, and we're going to talk about the Black Square thing. The Black Square thing where people posted the Black Square and just said Black Lives Matter and then just kind of hopped off and never spoke about it again. I know a few people that have done that. Performative activism is also these companies all of a sudden caring about Black lives, like Starbucks, Twitter, the NFL, saying they're for Black lives, but not really caring. They're not really caring about it deep down, really. And you could tell because it's like, do you still employ Black lives? Are you paying more Black people more, it's just like tone deaf,
Yeah.
and go ahead.
It sounds like, sorry to interrupt you, but it sounds so like it's putting up a facade of caring about Black Lives Matter and Black lives, but behind the scenes they're not doing anything about it.
Exactly.
But it's sort of, it's a trend. They took it like as a trend or like a fashion or something to get behind, but not really doing the work and the hard work that it involves to actually care for Black lives.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we still have like non-Black people still inserting their spaces in Black spaces. We still have non-Black people using African American vernacular English, which is ABE, which is basically Ebonics, like cis, period, finna, other words, and a whole plethora of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I still see it because I still have non-Black folks still speaking over Black people as well, thinking because they learned racism two days ago, they're all of a sudden an expert on Black lives. And so I still really see that heavily. So that's another way of performative activism. But I kind of want to pan over to you guys about the Black Square thing. I kind of want to get like a non-Black person perspective on why you guys posted that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had posted that, I was definitely guilty of the performative activism, where I posted the Black Square and then I hashtagged it Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
I had started hearing about performative activism and I kind of read up on it, and my thing was, well, if I keep posting about it on my Insta story, then it's not performative activism, which I later learned was very wrong. So in my eyes, I thought I was doing something helpful by informing the people who follow me on Instagram continuously, like, this is a problem. I posted about Breonna Taylor and Elijah McClain, but in a sense, that was still performative activism if I wasn't donating or calling senators or signing petitions or things like that.
Yeah, since we talked about performative activism, I am wondering what activism really entails when it's not performing.
Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of goes into like questioning our motivation of, why am I posting this Black Square? Why am I posting, these memes that I find, or these like posts that I find from other activism accounts and posting it on there? Is it to show my Black friends that I'm an ally? Is it because this is something that I want to actively be involved in? And it really just goes back to questioning, I think, our motives when we're trying to, kind of like you said, take part in activism.
Oh, okay. So rather than actually wanting to make a change, it's we're trying to look like allies and trying to look like we empathize with Black people, but not really doing the work that it takes to help them.
That's kind of how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, queer activism just takes more than that. Actual activism takes donating to the causes. It takes calling your representatives. It takes sending emails to your representatives. It takes getting involved in the fight for equal opportunities for people.
Yeah, it takes like that action in the activism. You have to put in that work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Janelle, what's up?
I will say, sorry, my throat. I will say I wouldn't have a problem with the Black Square thing if people attach like, hey, here are some Black-led organizations that we can donate to. Here are some Black voices you guys need to listen to. Here's some other resources that you should know about. I would have been fine with that, but a lot of people because that day I posted on my story, I'm like, hey, y'all need to delete that unless you're attaching like resources, Black-led organizations you can follow or donate to. And people still left their Black Square up. So that's how I know it wasn't genuine, but it would have been different if it was like that. And even I posted like screenshots saying like, hey, like, if you're only posting that Black Square and only hashtagging Black Lives Matter, and Black people are telling you to take that down, it's not doing anything for us, who are you doing it for? And that's, again, like I said, another sign of performative activism, because you're doing it for yourself. You're not really doing it for Black lives.
So I keep talking over you. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, I was just saying, what I realized, interestingly, I'm sure y'all know the black and white photo challenge that happened a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, same thing. People didn't know originally what it was for. And it was about raising awareness for the femicide in Turkey. And I want to say I noticed more when people realized what the cause was about, more people were inclined to update that black and white photo and raise awareness about that more than they did with the black square. So
why do you think that is?
Because at the end of the day, Black people are still seen as the bottom of the barrel. So that's what I honestly think. And
but
why.
What I'm hearing from your argument is that what performative activism does is actually silence Black voices.
Yep.
While masking themselves on giving them a voice, they silence Black voices.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like I said, even when Black people were saying, hey, delete the squares, or at least list Black-led organizations or Black voices to listen to, they didn't change it at all. They're doing it for their own personal capital gain.
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating. What else was frustrating was after when George Floyd died, I kind of had mixed feelings. I did want my friends to reach out to me, but also the friends that did reach out to me, it was just kind of overwhelming, just because I've been speaking about this stuff since forever, since high school, really, and just how people were bothering me, like, what can I do to help Black lives? Like, how are you feeling? And it's just like, now you want my opinion? You know, I've been talking about this stuff forever. Now, why now? You know, and I feel like why, and I feel like it's because it's a trend. You know, that's why they're more inclined to check up on me and stuff, which was a nice gesture. Like I said, I was kind of mixed about it. Part of me, yeah, I wanted people to check up on me. Part of me didn't, because it was overwhelming. But yeah, it's just frustrating, because I think about when 3 years ago I went to the Women's March, and I basically critiqued it, just basically how it was so white-centered, it was so cisgendered too, it was able-bodied centered, like it's only for white, cis, able-bodied, straight women. And I basically just talked about how white women will never be my allies because of that, because there were some Trump supporters there too. And I'm like, okay, you can't be for women and be pro-Trump. Y'all, I got eviscerated for that. I got threats. I got people telling me, oh, you're the one that's problematic. You're dividing the race. Like, people unfollowed me because of that. And I think about it now, if I posted that today, I would get praised for it, which is ridiculous, because 3 years ago, y'all had a problem with it. So I've been speaking about this stuff forever, and now all of a sudden you guys care, like fake care, because like I said, non-Black people are still not doing the work. So it just gets frustrating for, you know, of course I can't speak for all Black people, but for a Black person, because we've been screaming about this forever, and now all of a sudden people want to catch on and be for the movement, but really they're not. I don't know if you guys heard about activism fatigue. Have y'all seen that around?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, no, what is it? I haven't heard about it. What is it?
So I saw it floating around Twitter. Basically, white people were saying, like, oh, guys, you know, activism fatigue is real. Like, it's okay to take breaks. We know it's tiring. What? What's tiring? I'm Black. I can't take my skin color off.
Exactly.
You guys can tune in and out anytime you want.
Exactly.
It was just so insulting to see that around.
100%. And it's a privilege not to care.
Exactly.
It's
That's
a
there's no such thing as activism fatigue, boo. Like,
yeah.
if I'd rather for people to stay silent than fake care about the movement.
Yeah, exactly. I want to take a minute though to ask you, about your experience talking about that march and how it made you feel, but also do you feel like from there 3 years ago to where we are now, do you feel like we're making progress as a movement, or do you feel like the progress that we're making is more performative? At the same time, I know that people are getting more informed, and
Right.
I remember that I was colorblind. I think when I was like in my freshman year of college, I didn't understand it, and after I graduated is when I came to understand it. But do you feel like more people are getting informed, or is it getting behind something that they don't quite understand?
I'm kind of split. Part of me says we're not getting better, just because I think about, if we weren't under quarantine, how many people would show up for Black Lives? Like, I think about, is it something that people did just because there's nothing else to do? Because
Oh,
I don't know if you guys know Nathan Zed. He's a YouTuber, but he kind of explains some of it, where like we see all these white girls attending Black Lives Matter marches because Coachella canceled this year. So that was like their Coachella. Like, they wanted to riot for fun. And it's like, this ain't fun stuff. Like, this is serious stuff. So you need to be down for the cause, or you're not at this point.
yeah, and it's disrespectful because it's something that's affecting a group of people, and it's affecting them really bad. And as an outsider coming in, just seeing it as a little fun project that they're doing,
Right.
really not helping the cause, because you're not using empathy, you're using more like sympathy of like, it's like like what we're saying, you're making a performance that's not really helping.
Right. A part of me is kind of hopeful, because I know Aggie and we talked about this, how 4 years ago, even like 2 years ago, we weren't talking about defunding the police. So that that's a huge step. I will say I respect white people who are on the front lines for Black Lives Matter marches and getting their eyes taken out. So I will give them credit for that. That's awesome. But definitely, this is a lifetime commitment, though. This ain't no 1 week, 2 week, 3 month type thing. This is a lifelong commitment to unlearn your implicit biases. It's a lifetime commitment to be there for Black lives. It's a lifetime commitment to just unlearn that, because as long as you're white, it's not a done thing. It's a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Because you do have those implicit biases.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions? I'm on a roll.
So we kind of talked about, we talked a bit about what performative activism looks like. What do you think would be good examples of what real activism looks like? You had mentioned, white people on the front lines kind of, losing their eyes during the protests. What are some other ways non-Black people can genuinely get involved in the movement?
Okay. So non-Black people's jobs are to listen to Black voices and elevate our voices. That's y'all's job.
Okay, so what would elevating your voice look like?
Basically, like, if you see a Black person talking about white supremacy, like on Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform, retweet that, share it on your story, say, hey, this is a person you need to listen to. That's what elevating voices look like.
Okay.
Also, Black people, we are very nuanced. We, of course, all don't believe in the same thing. So when I say listen to Black voices, pay attention to what voices you're listening to. Are you only listening to Black men? Are you only listening to light-skinned Black people? Are you only listening to able-bodied Black people? Are you only listening to straight Black people? Definitely diversify what voices you're listening to, because we're all, like I said, all very nuanced. We all have our different opinions as well. So definitely diversify that as well. and another thing too, I want to talk about. I see people saying, support Black people, but these non-Black people that are saying support Black people aren't supporting your Black friends. I don't know if you guys know. So I post on Instagram that basically I'm selling my clothes, and and all the funds go to Black-led organizations and Black people's Cash Apps and Venmos. I did get traction. A lot of people did share, but it wasn't enough. Like, I literally had to go on my story and say, hey, if you haven't shared this, you need to, because at the end of the day, you are supporting Black lives. This is what I'm doing, so please support me in that. I understand we're in a pandemic, so some people are unemployed and they can't buy my clothes, which is fine, or they can't fit my clothes, which is fine as well. But it's free to share my stuff. So it's just that it didn't have to take me to say, hey, please share my stuff, but for people to share it. So yeah, I implore people to support their Black friends, because you guys say support Black people, but you guys don't support your Black friends. So definitely support your Black friends in whatever you can. Like I said, donate to Black-led organizations as well. Donate to Cash App and Venmos, which I know is controversial for some people. So I'm in a couple of groups, and me and some of the co-founders were talking about creating a lever so that people can donate to Black people's Cash Apps, Venmos, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So this organization, this group that I'm in, it's not only Black people, there's white people, Hispanic people as well. And just one of them had a problem donating straight to Black people. And they're just saying, like, we don't know what they're going to do with that money at the end of the day. What are they going to, like, take that money and use drugs with it? And I just had a problem with that, because it's like, okay, we can say the same for these nonprofit organizations. We donate to these organizations, and yet we still don't see a change.
Exactly.
And, so I don't know. That was just an implicit bias of her. Just 100%. What are they going to do with that? And so, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we don't know what they're going to do with it, but we just hope, it helps them, because Black people, we're going through two pandemics, COVID and police brutality, and that's the best thing that you can do for Black people is donate money to them. That's the best thing. And yeah, reparations. Mm-hmm. That's owed to us. So you're doing a great thing. Like I said, I can't express this enough. If you want to help Black people, and if you have the means to, definitely donate. If you can't donate, at least elevate our voices, get the word out there that we need money. So
yeah, there's also, I am broke AF because I'm unemployed, but there's a YouTube playlist that I don't know if you guys know about it. Do you guys know about it?
I think I saw it on
the Black Lives Matter playlist. So there's this playlist that it has just creators in YouTube, and all of the profits that those YouTube videos get from the ads go to Black Lives Matters organizations.
I did hear about that, actually.
Yeah. I can put a link on the bio. I listen to it like every morning, like without ads. You take out the ad block, and you're basically donating for free. Yeah, so that's something that you can do as a broadcast person like me.
Yeah, there's tons of ways you can help. It's just I
wanted to go back though, Chanel, because you said that the retweeting and elevating the voices. How can we differentiate performative activism with just elevating voices? How can we differentiate that? Because I thought I saw performative activism as posting stuff on your Facebook feed, but not really acting upon it, right? It's just like seeing it as a trend.
Right.
But how can I differentiate it between elevating Black people's voices and doing that?
Are you saying how to spot somebody using performative action versus like their genuine interest in helping us.
Yes, yes.
It's hard, especially if you don't know them. I just know it's performative action activism because I know these people that, you know, that share these infographics and still using, like I said, African American.
Okay, let's drop their names. You know who you are. Stop that shit.
You gonna show up at their house, girl?
Let's drop their ad down. Let's tag them on this video. Stop posting shit.
I'll tell you
acting.
Podcast ends. Okay, I'll tell you. No, I would say it is hard to differentiate, especially if you don't know them, you know. So it's hard. So again, yeah, I don't know what to say about that because, yeah, like I said, these people actually know, and I know they're not doing the work. But I don't know. I would say maybe strike up a conversation with them if you see them posting infographics. Say like, "Oh, were you about to say something?"
Yeah. So for me, what pissed me off is one of my favorite artists. I'm not gonna say their name, but her name starts with an S and it rhymes with Era. I don't know if you guys know that I love her to death, but the only thing that she posted on her page, which she didn't post anything on her Instagram, anything about it. She just posted the black square on her. That's the only thing that she did, and I'm like, bruh, you know, you can do so much more. Like, you have a platform where you can inform people about Black Lives Matter, and the only thing that you choose to do is a little black thing without posting like where to donate and stuff. It just means that you don't really care. You're just doing it. Oh yeah, it's like the I'm not racist trope. I'm gonna put this so people think that I'm not racist. You know, it's like a safe face type of thing rather than actually caring about the cause. So I think that's an example of performative activism. It's
I still see
when
people
you do it
using
for your own sake rather than for the actual cause.
I still see people saying, "Oh, how can I be racist when I have Black friends or I'm dating a Black person?" That is the most tired ass.
Okay, yeah, no, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. I'm racist. You're racist. You're racist. Everybody watching this is racist. Racism is ingrained in us. It's a learned behavior that we need to unlearn, and it's every day that we need to unlearn it.
And I think it's important to address that that's not like an end point that we reach until the time is something that you are going to have to, we all are going to have to be actively working towards and actively teaching our children about, actively talking to our families about that, and just ensure that we don't get to a place where we're comfortable and we feel like, well, my friends are diverse enough. I don't use certain language. I don't do this. I don't do that. So I'm done. It's something that is never done. And we will spend the rest of our lives, all of us, working towards unlearning those behaviors.
Exactly. And when we see people that use performative activism to look down on others, I have a problem with that because it's an ego boost rather than what it's meant to be, which is like activism is meant to help, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
and I can't say this enough. Just because you're a close proximity to Blackness, like I said, i.e. friends, dating someone Black, it doesn't mean that you're Black at the end of the day. Like, you're still your race, and you still have those implicit biases. Like I said, I don't care if you got a Black friend. I don't care if you're dating a Black friend, dating someone Black.
We can even talk about the people that feel better about like not being racist because they're dating a race. Oh yeah, like I'm doing my part because I'm dating a Black person. Because it's fucking messed up. Are you serious?
Especially when you're dating a Black person, you can still very well fetishize them.
Oh yeah.
A racism.
Yeah.
So, and that's a whole other different topic I can expound on too.
Yeah, that we can save for our next podcast, because this was about boys, girls, and everybody that's in this podcast.
But yeah, overall, like I said, at the end of the day, the most people can do is donate to Black people if you have the means. If you don't have the means, definitely just boost that organization, boost that Black voice, because we need it. You know, unfortunately, people still have a hard time listening to Black folks. So that's why, you know, we need allies to elevate our voices, because unfortunately, at the end of the day, the oppressors listen to other oppressors. They don't listen to the oppressed. So that's the best thing that non-Black folks can do.
I think that's very, very powerful what you said, that the oppressor listens to the oppressor.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. And with that, we're going to end our podcast. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. The reason that we name our podcast Bitches Who Need Advice is because we want to make sure that this is more of an open discussion. We accept criticism, and we also accept your comments and concerns regarding these topics. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. How do I start recording?